And welcome to Cruise Control, your on air automotive magazine. Hello, everyone. It is Fred Staub and Les Jackson. Les, we've got a
Yo,
lot to get to. There are a lot of reveals, there are a lot of, stories about the industry in general. And we have a lot to talk about, don't we?
we do. This is an unsettled time and things are just cranking along, but there are a lot of changes.
Yeah, and big news from Toyota this week. The Rav4, this is the sixth generation of it, will be, that's their most popular vehicle sales wise, and they just revealed it. Brand new, including a
Yep.
GR line version of that. So
That,
their
yeah,
performance line.
that's the model they can't afford to screw up. And they
No,
won't. They won't.
no.
Speaking of up, Fred, car prices are heading up and it's could easily get worse.
Yes, yes.
Mm.
Not good news. We'll tell you. We actually do know how some of the vehicles are being impacted by tariffs. We actually have a number on some of those. We'll share that. And then we'll also share an incredible concept from BMW, and it is called Speedtop. And Les, this is the future of station wagons. How about that? You said
Yeah,
stations
right.
wagons
Now we're talking.
were coming back.
That's a shooting break if I ever saw one.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So I think that's pretty cool. Will it go into
I do.
production? Who knows, right?
I I I I like that. And
Okay.
Hyundai prices out the Ioniq 9 full-size three-row SUV. That's what we need is bigger SUVs, Fred.
This one's all electric, by the way.
Yeah.
This one's all electric. And then we'll talk about Ford. Ford is being sued over tire sizes.
Hmm.
Yeah, we'll tell you we'll explain about this. We actually talked about this vehicle when it came out, but we will tell you about the problem that they are having with the transit van, the off-road edition of it, and they actually stopped making this. So we'll talk about that and tell you what's going on with the lawsuit.
Yeah.
And then, we're going to continue on later on with Dodge Charger Daytona gets the two-door, gets the four-door version, I should say. Looks very good as a four-door. You can bet this
You
is going to
know,
be a
it,
police car.
it does. It still looks slender and sleek.
Yeah.
Again, speaking of slender and sleek, Honda updates the HR-V. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while, and this is, not a huge update, but a pretty big update when it comes to technology and things like that.
Yeah.
And then this is an interesting topic. It was a segment that got ignored for many years until Ford brought out the Maverick, and now everyone wants a small pickup. We've heard
Yep.
about Ram bringing in potentially something called the Rampage, which is an old name that they used to use way back when. And then Toyota, it looks like it's pointing to Toyota actually getting into the small pickup truck business, potentially with that RAV4 as a basis for it. So
Yeah. Um, Everybody's doing it. And
is doing it. Yep.
over at Jeep, the Gladiator takes to the dark sky.
Yeah.
That's sinister.
Yeah. I had to, when I was preparing the show, I had to go through some of the military topics because I think Dark Sky was the name of a plane, like a doomsday plane or something.
Yeah.
But I couldn't find it. But it's a cool name. We'll tell you about that package. And then, well, this people have been talking about this for quite some time.
Yeah.
There is now a lawsuit that says Tesla is not using the odometer the way most people are used to it. If you go 100 miles, it shows you went 100 miles on the odometer. That he's using some kind of algorithm that means if you went 100 miles, it could be show massively over that. And the thought is it's to get rid of the warranty sooner.
and
So
also make you think you're getting more miles on a charge. Um, oh, Elon. Oh, Elon.
we don't know this for sure, but there is a
No,
lawsuit.
but
But the thing is, people have talked about this for a long time. They know that it takes 25 miles or so to get. I mean, it's easy to do. You go on, you put it in your phone, and Google will tell you, yeah, that's going
that's
to take
true.
you 25 miles to get there. Uh, and then it will register 55 miles.
That's kind of more than an error.
Yeah, yeah, because
That's, you can't do that by putting smaller tires on it.
well, and
Uh,
odometers are allowed to be plus or minus 4% off. That's way
oh,
out of four
yeah,
percent.
they've always been when they were mechanical, they were a stabilized odometer was, 4 or 5%. So,
We'll talk
yeah,
about it though. I
yeah,
tell you, it,
yeah.
some
Okay,
of the
well,
reporting says this could be the Dieselgate for Tesla, but
boy, oh boy.
yeah. So there you have it. What it's been talked about forever on online and various different Tesla
Yeah.
websites,
Well,
and
clearly people look at mileposts
yeah,
and
milepost your phone.
the phone and yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, we'll get to it.
We'll get to it. Yeah, so a lot to get to, but let's jump into our first story, and that is about the Rav4. Remember when the Rav4 came out? It was well, a small vehicle with tire on the back, and
Yep.
it was nice, but certainly not what it is today. This is the biggest seller for Toyota, and they've completely redone this. This is not just a refresh, they've completely redone this for 2026. It is the sixth generation of this vehicle, which is hard to believe, but six. And it will be available in core, sport, and rugged styles across 7 grades, which is quite impressive, don't you think? 7 grades of RAV4.
Yeah.
And some of the hybrids now, the hybrids in the Toyota lineup are going to get that color keyed grill. So it's not a black grill or a silver grill. It is the color keyed grill. There's a Woodland edition, which is kind of the rugged, raised up model with black cladding, and which immediately symbolizes I'm very much capable. And then there is going to be a GR line of this. This is a GR Sport, they call it. It's sort of like Hyundai's N line. It's sporty, but not, does not get an increased
Right.
power. This is the Woodland we're taking a look at right now, and I think that will be a big seller because people like the rugged looks, the black wheels. But it is available in a number of different powertrains, including hybrid electric. It is, by the way, all hybrid or plug-in hybrid. No more non-hybrid models.
Right.
So it is either hybrid electric or plug-in hybrid electric. And the interesting thing about the plug-in hybrid system, it is puts out 320 horsepower in with all-wheel drive, and gets 50 miles of all-electric range on when you plug it in and charge it up. How about that?
How about that? And some of the paint colors are just amazing. Like the woodland grade will have a new urban rock exterior paint color.
I think I was at
That's now
that concert, Urban
that's right.
Rock.
That's exclusive to that model, and the other colors are fairly popular: Meteor Shower and Everest and Storm Cloud. That joins all of the Rav4s, and then the old favorites like Ice Cap. Love their names: Wind Chill, Midnight Black, Ruby Flare, and Blueprint.
Yeah,
We'll continue. Oh, two-tone paint options too.
yeah, two-tone paint. That is a thing that really looks cool. And I kind of think Nissan brought that back, but now, of course, Toyota is doing that as well. Big news on towing. They're going to be able to tow up to 3,500 pounds, which is not bad. You could tow one of those little trailers along with you, behind you, or a couple of jet skis, or something that an active lifestyler would use, right? You know about that. Um, and there's a new slim 10.5 inch or available 12.9 inch touchscreen, which seems to be the biggest upgrade that we get. Everyone talks about, about that. That is the upgrade that you want,
Yep.
apparently. So this is an important vehicle for them, and I think they're going to do well with it. Um, I really like that they went all hybrid. I think it makes sense. It's going to help their fuel economy, at corporate average fuel economy. The GR Sport is the sporty version, and that gets doesn't get more power. Of course, it has 320 horsepower, which is
It's
pretty
plenty.
impressive. Comes in on the plug-in. It comes only on with the plug-in hybrid powertrain. But it does get tightened up steering. It does get tightened up suspension, summer tires. So the GR Sport is the line that does not get enhanced power like the GR Corolla does, but Toyota says that it has to have over 300 horsepower in order to get the GR Sport lineup. Because people are
Ah,
saying, will we make a GR Sport Camry? Right now, the Camry doesn't have enough horsepower for that. Will in a future generation will it? Potentially. So, uh,
it's amazing. Did you know that Toyota has been in America for almost 70 years?
that's crazy, isn't it?
I I, I mean, wow.
It is. It
I,
is. It is quite amazing. Um, the new Rav4 will be equipped with, I guess it said it's ARENE, Arene, a new all new software development platform created by Woven by Toyota. And it is the first step towards a fully software defined vehicle. It will be the foundation for advanced safety, security, connectivity technologies, and will create new opportunities to enhance features for customers on a global scale. So basically, that runs the infotainment and the new Toyota Safety Sense 4.0 TSS system. Uh, a lot going on here, wouldn't you say?
it really is a lot, and leave it to Toyota to come out with kind of everything at once in a new model. I was thinking back to the original ones back in the late 90s when they introduced the RAV4, and I remember thinking how small it was.
Yep.
And I'm going to research this. I just bet that the new one is 50% bigger at least.
Yes. My thing I remember about it is the low liftover for the cargo area. I was always
Yeah,
impressed with that. I had a friend that bought one. I said, "Wow, you don't have to lift stuff over a lip to get it in. It is completely flat. You just slide it in like a
yeah,
flatbed
that's
truck."
right.
Yeah. A lot to get to. I'm sure we'll be talking a lot more about this RAV4, the brand new model. Um, yeah, it is big. It is a big launch for them. And what do you think about the GR Sport version? Will that do well? 20-inch wheels. I think it might. I think
I think
people
it
like the
might. I
sportiness of
mean,
it.
there's such a demand for the off-roadish versions of everything these days. Um, I think just not because a lot of people want to go off-road, they just want it to look like that. They like the look.
Yeah, yeah, it's good stuff, and we will be talking much more about the RAV4 coming up, the sixth generation of that. Glad they got rid of the tire on the back, though. I hated that look in SUVs. The
Yeah.
tire hanging off the back. But you have a story about car prices going up, right?
I do. It's a big concern here in Washington. The administration doesn't like to hear that prices are going up.
Probably nobody
Uh,
does, right?
but well, who does? Um, but they haven't skyrocketed yet. But Cox Automotive and Kelley Blue Book have data showing that that's changing, and it's changing quickly.
Mm-hmm.
The number of vehicles in inventory, these are used vehicles generally, with is diminishing. Fewer cars to pick from. Dealers raise the price. Supply and demand.
Yep.
New inventory is almost certain to be more expensive due to tariffs. We know that.
Right.
So the market overall is just getting pricier. And, everyone's looking for something to change, but I think the change is it's getting worse.
Yes.
Uh,
Yes. Well,
yeah.
we've
So you
started.
ready? Are
Go
you
ahead.
ready for the average transaction price, Fred?
Go for it.
48,699.
Now, wasn't it 45,000 not that
It
long
was
ago?
1 year ago. It was 45,700.
Wow. Wow.
Because we marveled over it, thinking, "Oh man, this is staggering."
Well, the other thing is too, we're getting some information on what actual costs tariffs will add to certain vehicles. And this week it was revealed that the Impreza and the Crosstrek over at Subaru will go up $750 for tariffs. Now remember, I'm not sure about the Impreza, but I know the Crosstrek, much of it is built in the U.S., but obviously parts come from Japan and other places. So about 750 on the sticker it will go up, and
Okay.
then up to $2,000 more in the sticker for the Japanese-built BRZ and WRX, and that's probably just the beginning until these things get worked out. Hopefully, get worked out.
These are big jumps. And on top of that, you've lost your ability to negotiate.
Yeah, oh, that's true. I mean, you can't negotiate down the tariff. I fully suspect dealers will take advantage of this. I really do. I think
Well, yeah, I
I
think
think they'll just
honestly,
add it on.
well, yeah, yes, but the forces, and by the forces I mean the lobbyists, the Congress itself, terrified they're all going to get voted out. Um, the pressures are, I think, going to cause these tariffs to go away. But in the meantime, it has they and the other policies have dropped our overall the world's credit rating for the U.S. for the first time in my life. And that really hurts the stock market. It makes the bond market real good, which is higher interest.
Yeah,
I'm not an economist, but I think I can say things ain't going well.
I do think there will be deals or victories declared, and it will
Yeah,
move on.
yeah, yeah.
And you can declare a victory and move on with some of this. But Toyota was saying they're not optimistic that there's already, I believe, a deal with Japan, but it takes time
Right.
time to write this up. You know what I mean, and get it enacted. So they're
Yeah.
feeling that there will be at least a period where prices do go up, and they will have to pass that along, the costs along, and then it will eventually go down because it will be handled. But we shall see. Let's talk about the Speedtop. I just think it's Sammy Speedtop and the Wagoneers here when I hear the word Speedtop. But um, this is a concept from BMW, and it is what would the Touring, which is their station wagon, look like in the future? and apparently it looks pretty nice. Very luxurious on the inside,
Yeah,
very slippery on the outside. It was shown at the Concorso di Eleganza at the Villa d'Este in 2025, and it is
yeah. I missed
that's.
my invitation to
I
that
know mine got
again.
lost in the mail. It's in Lake
Well, you know,
Como
it
in Italy, by the way.
just happens.
Yeah, it's a new concept, and it is gorgeous, isn't it?
It is really it's spectacular looking. I mean, tip this. They've outdone Aston Martin.
Yes, they
And that's
have.
hard to do. It's really
It's
hard to do.
it's very
But
sleek. It's
man,
very good looking. Some people even say it has a nicer kidney-shaped grill in the front because it's not that huge one. It looks like it's moving when it's sitting still, and it has side
hmm
view mirrors and a little door handle there, a little tab to go in there. I like the big exhaust. This looks very buildable, doesn't it?
well, I think it's a done deal. Honestly, I don't know this for sure, but I think it is. And I don't know what the price will be.
Mm-hmm.
Um, a lot.
Well,
Uh,
could this also features, by the way, the most powerful V8 in the BMW portfolio. Um, it they're saying that it could lead to a strictly limited production of 50 units. So these
hmm.
might be very, here it comes, bespoke vehicles, sort of like Cadillac. What is it? The Cadillac
Oh,
that
the lyric?
no, no. There's one that is
Oh,
built
the
Celeste. I think I
right.
will.
The Celeste. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
that
not Celeste. It's Celesta or something like that.
yeah. But this could be something like that, don't you think?
Yeah. Well, they're going to produce 70 of them.
I thought it was 50.
No,
50.
no. Speed Top, they're going to do 70. They did this other one, the concept Sky Top, uh, which did a limited production of 50.
Yeah, I
It's
think
just man. I mean, it's just beautiful.
people are lining up for this. Sure, it's going to be well over the standard price of
Um, yeah, I don't have a checkbook that large. Um,
for this. Yeah, uh,
yeah,
they call that floating sunstone maroon exterior paint.
hmm.
And then there's
Floating sunstone.
yeah, and the brown interior is a sundown maroon. They call that a sundown maroon.
Sundown maroon.
Yes, with light moonstone white on the seats.
Seems to be stone is a theme.
This is a two-seat vehicle with storage areas in the back and leather-covered storage in the back.
Oh boy.
It's a custom car. It is a
Hmm.
custom vehicle, uh, but I do think it is one of the rarest vehicles. I bet they're sold out already. Wouldn't you say?
I and I love the Targa top one.
I like the hardtop one, the
Well,
Speedtop.
I do too. I would choose a hard top, of course,
Yeah.
but the other Targa looks pretty cool. I
Also,
wonder if it's named Sunstone for the Viking Sunstone.
I don't know, but I want to point this out. It is a V8 powered, not electric.
Well, BMW, is proud of its performance history, and I think that they want this to be pretty serious performance.
So let me ask you this: how soon before Hyundai or Kia make a vehicle that looks just like this?
Um, 2 years.
Yes. Okay, it's not going to have a leather wrapped interior,
No,
or
no.
storage area, but it will probably look very much like it, don't you think?
I think so. I mean, look what they've done with the Sonata and the K5.
Yeah, very slippery cars.
Very
Very,
slippery looking.
yeah, yeah,
And yeah, I think it's inevitable.
yeah. All right. Well, we will keep you up to date on that. Les has got his ordered in the maroon. He likes that.
Yep.
Um,
Well, yeah. Again, I'm going to have to borrow a little money from someone
somewhere.
rich.
Let's go over to, we were talking about Hyundai. Let's go over to Hyundai and the Ioniq 9. It is their three-row large SUV. We have some pricing information on this. And it is an EV, of course. It delivers over 300 miles of range,
Hmm.
starts at 58,955, assembled in America. It's right up there at the top of the headline.
Right in the title. It's,
Yes.
uh,
Good
which if
looking
it's
vehicle.
important. It's
Yeah.
important. I should say that.
Uh,
And yeah, it's big.
yes. The rear wheel drive version delivers an impressive 335 miles of charge. All wheel models offer 300 plus, that's EPA estimated. Top of the line Ioniq 9 all wheel drive performance calligraphy design is priced from $78,090, including destination. The interior space has a fully flat floor, relaxation seats, and a slidable universal island 2.0 to enhance the passenger experience. Modern and clean on the inside.
Yep,
Looks good. Looks
it
good.
does look good.
Well,
And eligible buyers receive a complimentary ChargePoint Home Flex Level 2 charger
nice.
or a $400 charging credit. Now, how are you eligible? I don't know.
Maybe I don't know either. You might have to lease it. You might have to finance it. I don't know, but I look forward to
Yeah.
driving it because it's a cool looking vehicle. I like the choice of wheels too. You get a couple of different styles of wheels. So
Yep. But again, you got to admit, Fred, the front is that kind of Range Roverish
it is.
thing.
Yeah,
It's amazing.
it's amazing. So too is the back as well. So let's run down the prices one more time and give you some more details. Ionic 9 rear wheel drive S, basically the base model, 215 horsepower electric motor, which doesn't sound like much these days.
No, but it's a lot of torque.
Driving range 335, 58,955. None of these prices will include the somewhat affordable nowadays $1,600 freight.
Hmm.
Hard to believe that that's affordable, but many are going over 2,000. Next step up, Ionic 9 all-wheel drive SE. This is your first chance at a all-wheel drive model. 303 horsepower, dual electric motors, 320 miles of range, 62,765. Probably going to be the big seller, I would say.
That'll be that one, and the next one up, the SEL, which is again all wheel. Just more goodies inside, and that's
Yep,
another $4,000.
yep. And then you step up into you really step up into the bigger numbers.
It's going way up now. Yeah.
Yes, Ionic 9 all-wheel drive performance limited. 422 horsepower from dual electric motors, all-wheel drive, 311 miles of range, 71,250. Now we're into the calligraphy models, all-wheel drive performance calligraphy. Still sticks with the 422 as the all-wheel. Still have 311 miles of range, 74,990, and kicking it all the way up to the top, the Ionic 9 all-wheel drive performance calligraphy design model, and that rolls out for
That's
$76,490.
that's a $20,000 spread.
Yeah, you must get some nice stuff for that price.
Well, I mean, you know, whatever they offer, what's inside of it is high quality.
Yeah, and these are all built in the U.S. Bryan County, Georgia, is the plant, and yeah, it still is eligible for the federal tax credit of $7,500. That's going to go
Yep.
away.
Well, that's going to go away. Yes.
Yeah, so
Again, again, you better buy something soon.
uh,
Um,
because the prices are going to go up and the
yeah.
$7,500 will go away. I would say that will go away. That bill will probably be signed next week, I would imagine.
Yep. Yeah, I
And
think
I don't
so.
know how soon it goes away. If it's a staged,
Probably immediately.
it might go away as soon as the ink dries. I don't know. I have no way of knowing that, but that will be going away for sure. Yeah, I don't know what it means eligible for their choice, whether that means,
You know, maybe it's just a simple eligibility in that you have a proper electric panel that can take it.
well, I don't know. I have a friend that just put it in. It's interesting the wide range of costs, and I'll just say these are very similar installations. And one person was charged $5,000 and the other person was charged $900. And that
Yeah.
involved upgrading the
Wow.
panel in both cases. So shop around for electrical work.
Yeah. If you upgrade to 440 volts, that's going to get real expensive.
Yeah. Um, and I think they should probably start building houses with more power in them, but that's just me. But anyway, uh, let's move on to our next story, and that is a kind of an odd lawsuit at Ford, right? And it involves a
Yeah.
vehicle we thought was kind of cool. We actually had a guest on to talk about this, and it was based around the Ford Transit Trail. And it was a smart move on the part of Ford because they took the Transit van and they figured let's jump on van life and people doing overlanding with vans. And they made a somewhat more capable all-wheel drive Ford Transit van that featured larger tires, a little bit of a lift kit, and they were aggressive knobby tires. They say 30.5-inch all-terrain tires, all-wheel drive,
Hmm.
and it was designed to capture the van life YouTubers. I thought it was an interesting concept and a great
Yeah.
start for making some kind of camper van, right? But
But but those tires rub the body,
yes, they
so they put smaller tires on it.
they
I don't.
recalled them and put smaller tires on it.
Yeah.
Now they're being sued because they said you should have engineered it better. Apparently, they didn't do a lot of engineering on it and allowed it to an upfitter to do this. And as we all know, you put bigger tires on it and different wheels, you could get some rubs. There were people getting rubs in the fender liners and other suspension components and things like that. And people are not happy that they got the smaller tires built on it. They're very upset
No.
about it. Now there's a lawsuit. So
Yep. I mean, you see this all the time with people doing it themselves.
yes, but
They get bigger tires. They have no idea that when the suspension moves, the tire's going to rub everything.
right.
Uh, but the Ford engineers are pretty good at engineering, and they would have known. And I don't know, I don't know how it happened, but it happened. And I love the description. It says the YouTubers uh, wanted that capability, and they didn't get it.
Yes, or they had it and they got a recall and they got smaller tires.
Yeah, yeah. So assume they'll win the lawsuit, or Ford will settle somehow.
Well, it's diminished capability. It's like
Right.
buying a car that has 500 horsepower, and they say, you know what, we're going to change that for some reason, and now you're only going to have 470. They'll say it's
Yeah.
diminished
This happened to
worth.
Ford.
Yeah, diminished worth. I mean, it's happened.
That, that's
Hyundai
right.
had that happen with horsepower. Remember, that's way back where they overrated horsepower, and
Yeah.
people say that's not what I bought.
Diminished value. That's a solid lawsuit. Um, it happens all the time in warranty lawsuits and lemon law.
Well, you know, also they could say Ford took the cheap way out of putting smaller tires on it. They should have re-engineered the suspension and put a little bit taller spring in it or change the shape of the fender liner. I mean, all
Right.
that's actual cost engineering. And if you
Well,
it's
I guess they were just hoping that people really wouldn't, very few people would be taking it to those extremes of off-road.
but that's what they pushed. They showed it.
That's what they did.
Yeah. So I don't know. I could see this being a big problem. The only probably bright light for Ford is I don't know how many of these things were sold. They looked good. I thought that would make a great camper, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, because you think of the Transit as this universal delivery van and you name it, every application in the world. I never thought of it as an off-road camper.
Yeah. So there you have it. Well, we'll see. Let us know what you think. If you think Ford should have done something better as far as different springs, different fender liners, different offset wheels. I mean, there's a number of ways you can go about it. Probably putting smaller tires on it while it works the fastest and it's the easiest to do at the dealer may not be the best way to do it. You would, you're really kind of going backwards with that. So, because it reduced clearance too, uh, so it made the vehicle lower. So, of course, Ford's dealing with a bunch of things like safety and all kinds of things like that. So who knows? Who
Yeah.
knows? Who knows? Well, there you have it. Um, let's talk a little bit about while we're off road. Let's talk about something big. The Silverado Trail Boss. The Trail Boss trim has become one of the most popular in the Silverado lineup. And now they've moved it over into the Silverado EV lineup to give more capability. This trend of everyone needs something higher and very capable off road, I think it's only growing. I tell you, I don't see this as stopping anytime soon because we just talked
Yeah.
about the Rav4 coming out with a more capable version, right?
That's right. I mean, it's happening across all manufacturers and all lines. And every commercial you see now is is a pickup truck or an SUV
Kicking
kicking
up
up
dirt.
tremendous amounts of dust
Yeah.
and going sideways in the desert or near the desert. And it makes you want to do that. You and I have done that, as well as fly various vehicles. Uh, but but well, what can I say? We had to do it. I mean,
Yep.
we just had to. So, when you see that on the commercials, then you really do want to do it. It's fun if it's in a controlled situation. It's easy to be reckless about
Now you
this.
sound like the disclaimer. driven in on a closed course. Do not attempt.
Well, yes.
I
And
love that.
all of these are driven on a closed course, and they make sure they're not affecting the local environment, killing turtles
That
and
type of stuff.
critters.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, let's
you
talk
can't.
about some of these things.
Yeah, this thing looks incredibly capable.
Yeah, high angle approach front fascia. These are the upgrades for the Silverado EV Trail Boss. Rugged 35-inch all-terrain tires, unique 18-inch
Right?
wheels, exterior badging, new exterior badging, unique interior, red front tow hooks. Boy, that's something out of the Jeep page right
Right
there.
is. It
Yeah,
sure is.
yeah, and there's all kinds of accessories and lights and things like that. Switches, there's the accessory upgrade switches, which is something Ford does a lot of, and Toyota, where you can just wire in things and have a switch. And it comes in 9 exterior colors, including 3 new options: white sands, polar white tricoat, and Magnus gray matte metallic. Um, as much as I like matte paint, taking it off road, if you get a scratch in matte paint, it's very hard to fix it.
Yeah, you got a problem.
You got a problem. So, you talk about the ranges of prices again here. The Silverado EV, it starts as a work truck at 54,895. The Trail Boss it offers you two different ranges. The Trail Boss extended 410 miles of range, 72,095.
Mm.
Max at 478 miles of range, 88,695. Les Jackson, who is buying these things? That is a lot
Well,
of money for a vehicle.
I yeah, I mean, well, I don't know. I mean, this is if you finance something like this, you're paying huge monthly payments. You're not going to lease it because the first thing you're going to read in the lease is you can't take it off road.
Right, right.
That's,
Yeah,
uh, but uh, yeah, we need to do a study. We need to do a survey on who is buying these things.
I think people just write $2,000 in to their monthly budget for a
I
vehicle.
Yeah, well, obviously a lot of single people. You don't have family costs. You're renting wherever you're living, um, and you know you're willing to put out 2 grand a month, 2,500 a month, high insurance rates.
High depreciation, right?
Yep.
You're going to be.
Um,
I think as soon as they get underwater, they get out of that deal and lose money and get something else, right?
yeah. I doubt that they own them more than a year or two.
Yeah.
That you get it out of your system. It's like buying with a ZR1 Corvette or a Ferrari or a Maserati. You get it out of your system,
Yeah.
have a lot of fun, and then sell it and
At a
buy
loss.
something. Oh, at a huge loss.
Yeah.
But everybody has done it to one degree or another, including me.
Hmm.
I would buy a performance classic car and restore it and lose a little bit of money, not that much,
I
but
kind of
have
like
fun.
more when I watch like David Freiberg or someone like that online. They buy a kind of a junky car. They
Hmm.
fix it up, but they don't go crazy. They don't paint it.
Yep.
They clean it up. They get everything working. If like the grill is smashed out, they get a new grill for it, and they drive it a little bit, and then they say, "Hey, do I want to take this further, or I'll sell it? I had some fun with it." And they probably make a little bit of money. Maybe they don't make all the money back. They had
But
fun,
a little bit. Yeah.
but not like it's not like they spent 100 grand. Maybe they put $5,000 into it, and they
That's
had
right.
fun doing it. And in his case, he created content with it, so that made sense. To me, that's more appealing, and it's fun. You're making something a little bit better. Maybe you like make a little money, but you're not really in it for that. Maybe you break even, but you had fun.
Yeah. Typically, I've, been much closer to the break even stage and obviously my time and work isn't paid for, but
No, that's
it's
enjoyment,
the
though.
fun of doing it. And
Yeah.
then, you thrash it around for a while and then sell it.
Yeah. Or take it to the next step. Say, I think I really do want to do an engine swap, or I do want to get it painted, or I do want to invest in new
Right.
seats and get rid of the cheap seat covers. Um, yeah, and the good news is if you buy the right car that has a lot of aftermarket parts and pieces, and maybe there's still a few cars around like that that you can go
Yep.
junkyard diving. I mean, I've done that with seats. I took them out of another car, bucket seats and console, put it in. I
Yep.
did the dye on the seats, and it was great. You know, and I had fun doing it. And I actually sold it at a little bit of a profit. Not that I was
Yeah,
going to live off of that,
absolutely.
but I
It,
had my fun,
it's,
and that was it.
yep. And it's amazing how much fun you really do have, and how quickly you can get it out of your system. Uh,
Yes,
but
yes.
in some cases, but
Well, as
otherwise, it's just
gr-
great.
growing
It's
up near water, there was always a term: every boat's for sale for the right price, no matter what. If someone said, "I'll
exactly
never sell it," and someone say, "Hey, I'll give you 50 grand for it," okay.
okay. I'll sell it.
Yes,
Yeah,
so
you always
everything's always
ask,
for sale.
how you always ask, what's your don't want to sell price?
Well, let's talk about Pontiac, one of my favorite brands. I always liked Pontiac because they were kind of the affordable GM's affordable performance brand, right? And
Yep.
and before they went away, that was kind of what Bob Lutz was trying to bring back an affordable performance brand. But of course, in the bankruptcy, they went away and they were lost, just like Oldsmobile was and Saturn. But there's always this talk about Pontiac coming back, right? And there was a big internet story about that Pontiac is coming back, and there was an ad, I believe, in one of the Buff books about get ready because Pontiac's coming back. Now this happened this week where GM filed a fresh Pontiac trademark, and it got everyone buzzing. Uh,
Oh yeah.
that they're going to launch Pontiac again, right? And as it says, rumors of the return of Pontiac refuse to die. Well, um, basically, what was uncovered is they're doing this for merchandise. They're basically recopywriting the name to kind of keep it alive, so they can do licensed Pontiac merchandise and make some money on that. And why shouldn't they hang on to that name so some Chinese brand doesn't grab it and say, "Oh yeah, Pontiac, it's back." I think it's smart.
I think it's very smart too. Also, it doesn't cost much to keep the trademark brand, to keep it, and it does have a great legacy. And imagine how many T-shirts and hats you can sell, especially for the well, the GTO for certain, and the chicken
Firebird.
on the.
Yeah,
I always have to say the chicken on the hood
the
because
screaming chicken.
the screaming chicken, which is not a chicken, it's I guess what is it? An eagle? Uh,
It's a Firebird.
oh, the American Indian
Yes.
Firebird.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh, I always like the stacked vertical double stacked lights on the Pontiac on the
yep,
Le Mans,
yep.
and I always like the Trans Am, the original Trans Am. It would be fun to
You know,
find an old uh, basic Firebird and make it a
our
tribute Trans
uh,
Am.
Our friend Glenn, now you know that he and I have 6 cars that we're working on, and
Oh
he
my,
he
yes.
constantly finds Firebirds that he would love to get, and I don't know whether he's just pushing my buttons, but, I and some of them are pretty neat looking, but
What
I just
years
keep
are they?
saying,
Are
"No,
they
no, 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 don't do it."
what years are they?
Uh,
What
well, 70 up through 75, I guess.
Okay. I remember someone that had a really nice V8 powered. Um, I guess when did they come out? 60. Did
Well,
they come out at the
60
same time as the Camaro?
67, 67.
All right. This was a 67 or 68, and it was a convertible. It was really nice. It was rust free, V8, and she wrecked it. And I thought that is a waste
Mm.
because I wanted to buy it because it was really just a nice stock car that wasn't, rusty, and it was a convertible. I mean, I didn't pull the carpet out of it, but it looked good. The rockers were good. And I thought that would be a slick car. Just put a set of Kragers on it and just drive it around and enjoy it. Wouldn't that have been nice?
One of my friends and one of our other pilots in our squadron in the Navy had a 68 Firebird with the overhead cam 6 in
Oh,
it.
yeah.
And that was actually a nice engine. It was quick. It handled great. It was light.
Yeah. Light nose.
But of course, everybody wanted big V8s. But that car it would be very collectible today.
I had another friend that had an absolutely clean Le Mans. He said, "Oh, was given this old car by my parents, and it was
Yeah,
clean. The interior was great. I remember the stitching in the black. I forget what engine it had. It may have had a six, or it may have had the 326. Wasn't a
probably
GTO, and I
326. Yeah,
I thought this would have been what a great project car. It's like rot free, And
yeah,
today I would have just said, just rework that 326 with some new heads, maybe aftermarket fuel injection, maybe modernize the suspension a little bit, lower it a little bit, a new set of wheels. And that's it. That would have been fun. That would have been
it'd
like a
be
nice
fun.
little hot rod, right?
Yeah,
Uh,
and cheap.
and
Cheap
cheap.
to run, cheap to fix.
It even didn't need paint. The paint was fine on it. It was, I think that remember that aqua color from
Oh yeah,
it was
yeah.
a lot of cars like that. Um, and I thought that would be a fun little hot rod. Just modernize it just a little bit, and I'm sure Edelbrock sells a kit for the 326, a top end kit, right? Um,
Absolutely, and
aluminum
so
heads.
much cheaper than buying a very expensive new car.
Yeah, I think it would have been fun. I think it would have been fun. Well, hey, that's slipped away, but I loved the stacked
Yep.
headlights. I thought that was a cool design. What are some of the cars you wished you had from a friend or a family member and it slipped through your fingers and you thought, wow, that would have been a fun little project car to just drive around in? And once again, Les, these don't have to be, as you say, Ferraris or 1,000 horsepower things with a blower sticking through
No.
the hood. They just have to be a clean, good handling machine that's got some interesting look to it, a little vintage look to it, and fun and reliable. Make it reliable, because you don't want to, say, hey, I've been working on this car, but I want to go out on the weekend. You don't want to go in there and you can't get it started, or you have to do work. You want to
Yeah.
go in there, turn the key, say, let's go out to coffees and cars, or coffee and donuts, or whatever, and just hang out. So
Exactly.
yeah. Any cars like that you wished you kept?
I would say British sports cars are
Don't drive
popular
them in the
and
rain.
quite inexpensive. Yes, rough in the rain.
Yep.
Uh, and certainly things like Mustangs and Camaros and uh, uh, Barracudas and
Barracudas. Yeah.
uh, usually. smaller, which used to be called mid-size cars,
Right.
are very, very popular. We're just finishing our Corvair down at our shop, and the Corvair is great fun to own, and they're a bargain.
Yeah. Yeah. I was watching a guy on YouTube that's all he does is Corvairs, and he buys like every one he can get. He had a pretty vintagey looking van, and then he had the ramp, the little pickup with
Oh
the
yeah,
ramp, although that
ramp
had been
side, yeah,
flipped and he was going to do something with it, but it was really the cab was really damaged. But, somebody could repair it theoretically. And then he had a lot
sure,
of different vintage ones, and he said if the body's shot, he would take the engines out and make them into a sand rail with the Corvair engine. If because
yep,
some of the bodies, he said these things they had no bottom in them; they were completely rusted.
yeah.
But he'd take the parts.
We had very little rust. We cleaned it up, replaced floor panels, and it's good and solid. So very fun car to drive.
A repower for that would be cool. Would be the Boxer engine, the Subaru Boxer engine. Wouldn't that
Yeah,
be cool?
Subaru Boxer engine. Although this Corsa engine has been bored out a little bit. Um, it's actually pretty quick.
Yeah, yeah, very cool, very cool stuff. All right. Well, it's time to kind of head into our second hour now and more automotive news, including from Dodge. Of course, they got rid of the Daytona RT, but they still have the Scat Pack around. And this week they revealed the four-door version of this. I think this is a good-looking four-door version. As I said earlier, you're going to see this in a pursuit version for the police, aren't you? I'm sure at some point.
You know, this they have managed. It's very rare that you can get away with this, but they've managed to make a four-door look so slick that you don't care that it's a four-door.
You know what it is, Les? It's the high hips in the back, and it subtly slopes down.
Yeah,
It's kind of a unique trick because they got a style line that kind of starts high on the hips of the back and slopes down and goes away, you know, kind of in the driver's door. But then they also have the belt line is straight. So it's very good design.
yeah.
Really a nice design. It looks very clean. The fit of the doors, the quarter panels. I like it a lot. The only thing they're going to have to change for the police car is that arrow that comes up under the hood because when cops start digging through your pockets and throw your stuff on the hood, it's going to fall down on the road. So they'll probably put a little bit of mesh in there so it doesn't.
Well, yeah,
Yeah, but okay, this is the electric version of it. But of course, there's going to be the six-pack versions, with starting at 420 horsepower and going on up. I think those will be the popular models. Looks good in this blue, though, doesn't it?
it does. It's very traditional looking Dodge color,
Yep.
although not all that old, but yeah. So and it's a performance car. I mean, in serious performance.
Much better looking than the outgoing Charger four door, I
Yeah,
think, which
yeah.
kind of was okay, but it had its own style that didn't really relate to uh, we'll call it just it looked like it was its own style. It didn't have like a family resemblance, let's say. So this has more of it. It's funny that the Charger was always a two-door car. Then of course the outgoing model was revealed and the only was available as a four-door car. Now it's back and they release a two-door as the first in the lineup, and now they have the four-door. These are all hatchbacks too, which is a kind of a hidden hatch, um, and it is still inspired by the '68 Dodge Charger, the Coke bottle look, exterior design, and this is the all-electric model that has 670 horsepower It is the Charger Daytona Scat Pack, the world's quickest and most powerful muscle car, and it delivers Hellcat red eye levels of performance, 0 to 60 in
Yep.
3.3 seconds.
That's quick.
I
That's
They have a power shot featuring an incremental 40 horsepower for 10
yeah,
seconds.
and Fratzonic uh,
Yes,
chambered exhaust.
I don't think this will sell because it's electric, but I think what people would like is a 6-pack model with the power shot being an electric motor somewhere in the
Right,
drivetrain
right.
to give you that shot. What do you think of that?
It's really cool, and I think they've again, they just seem to have had all of this stuff waiting in the wings until they got rid of their last CEO,
Mm-hmm.
because it's all happened quickly.
Yeah. Well, as you know, they said they were going to pull ahead the 6-pack versions of these. Um,
Right.
but they can only do that so much. I think it's a great looking car. I think it's a great 4-door car,
Yeah, they
and
deserve credit for this.
yeah, it will do well. It will find its base. I just don't think the electric versions are going to resonate with, as you call it, the brotherhood of muscle. But I think the gas
Yeah.
ones will, and I do think a Hemi will be in here at some point as a very premium model. Don't you think?
Yep. Oh, I think so.
Yeah.
It just has it's checked off all the boxes.
And as a 4-door, we'll see a 6-pack powered 420 horsepower police car pursuit version of this, I would imagine, and that will be an interesting look. Rear mechanical limited slip diff, all-wheel drive. The front R wing pass through. That's what I was talking about. That little arrow it goes under the hood. Uh, Maximum range of the electric version. And let's just say this: if you got 670 horsepower, you're probably not going to get the maximum range of 241 miles, are you? I just don't think you
Too-
will.
Well, no, because you're going to get your foot in it too much.
Hit that power shot button, right?
Yep.
So, uh, any idea? We don't have pricing on this yet. I don't think so. It will have a track package, which will get that 670 horsepower, 627 pound-feet of torque, and red Brembo 6-piston front and 4-piston rear
Yep.
brakes, 20
Gotta
by
have that.
11-inch aluminum wheels. Um, yeah, Fratzonic exhaust. Thumbs up or thumbs down on that?
Well, I'm not a big loud exhaust fan, but when it's done right, it's impressive.
Did it sound real, or did it not sound real?
Oh, yeah, probably.
You would give it a. Oh, you heard it inside, right? You heard it inside at the Washington D.C. Auto Show, didn't you?
Yes, and you could hear it over at the at the Capitol building. it's, it
Oh
was
boy!
significantly loud.
Wow. Well, let's jump over to Honda. Honda has refreshed its HRV. And there's a number of new features for 2026. A new exterior and interior styling details. A larger 9-inch HD touchscreen, which is 2 inches larger. That is standard. 2 inches larger than the outgoing model. Wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Wireless phone charger is now standard. Um, Pewter gray 17-inch alloy wheels on the LX. Berlina black 18-inch alloy wheels on the Sport, and larger machine finished 18-inch wheels, which are 1 inch bigger on the EXL. A couple of new colors. Privacy glass now standard on all trims. And then things like silver steering wheel spokes on the EX1, EXL, I should say. dynamic climate control lighting knobs. Okay, and footwell lighting on the EXL. This vehicle starts at a very affordable 26,200, uh, and that is for the well-equipped HRV LX, and that excludes the $1,300 uh, destination charge. And then you can get real-time all-wheel drive with intelligent control and all-wheel drive model starting at 27,700 excluding that 1395. So an affordable vehicle. The
Yeah.
range is from 27,595. That's with destination to the EXL all-wheel drive model at 32,945. Mileage for the top of the range model is 30 highway, city 25, combined 27. Not bad. What's interesting about the this little vehicle, the HRV, is you have to use premium fuel. Premium fuel is recommended, and it's not a
Well,
high horsepower vehicle either.
no, it's not, but they've done it right. They're very proud that the HRV is the number one vehicle for first time and Gen Z buyers and Hispanic buyers.
Interesting, interesting. Although,
So that's a big deal, when you've
uh,
got young buyers and you can keep them.
yeah, I know
Uh,
it's. I always think sometimes that's painting with a big brush, though. Like if an older person would want a car
well,
like this,
that's
but they
true.
want all the options in it. Like uh,
Right.
they just don't want a big vehicle, because it's a pain to haul around, um, but nice vehicle. I think what is the horsepower? 150 something. It's not huge.
I'm looking for it.
There's no hybrid version either. This is based on the
No,
Civic, I believe, right?
based on the Civic, I think it's 150 or maybe 170.
I think it's 150. I'd love to
Yeah.
see him put the hybrid version in this, make a hybrid version of it. But good little vehicle and nice updates for 2026. Certainly one to consider, and it doesn't break the bank even if you go all the way up to the top. And I'm sure the sport version is going to be the big seller, and that the sport version in all-wheel drive is 30,000 895. With just front wheel drive, it's 29,395. For the price differential, I get the all wheel drive. You only lose
A
two
lot of car
miles
for
of,
the money.
yeah, and means you can resell is probably much better on that. But cool looking vehicle. I was just in the Honda Civic Hybrid, and that's a great commuter vehicle for sure. A little light on the interior options, uh, but um, but great mileage and very smooth
Oh
riding.
yeah,
So
Civic is a mileage winner.
super commuter car for sure. That's
It's
what I
great.
call a big commuter car. Hey, let's talk about what has kind of become the open secret of the auto industry. And it looks like Toyota wants to get into um, building a small pickup truck, right?
Yes, they certainly watch the market. And just a few years ago, the market was saying nobody wants small pickups anymore.
Right.
And
Nobody
then
wanted, they were getting out of it.
nobody
Nobody,
wanted them.
yeah.
Um, and, Ford and others stopped making them.
Yeah, they're like, why should we sell them a small pickup when we can sell them a full size F
That's
150?
right. Yeah. So then times changed, and Ford brought up the Maverick about 3 years ago, and whoa, Nelly! Everybody realized, hey, this is a great idea, and so now Toyota is they're looking at it real hard. And you know they're going to do it.
You know they're going to do it, and we talked earlier about the Rav4 being introduced. They say the Rav4 would be the basis of the pickup truck, and I you can't get a better spot to start with because it will be all
That's right.
hybrid or maybe plug-in hybrid. Um, will they be able to make it compete with the pricing of the Maverick? The Maverick has gotten a lot more expensive because due to tariffs and things like that. I think it's gone up $5,000 in pricing, if I'm not wrong about that, or it will go up $5,000 in pricing
Yeah.
due to tariffs. By the way, another competitor to this potential Toyota build of small pickup truck would be the Slate. Now it's a little bit different because this is very low buck as far as interior goes and things, and it is electric. Some are saying what will happen to that vehicle if the $7,500 goes away. $7,500 tax benefit. That's a story for another time though, and I'm sure when we know whether that's going away or not, we'll
Yeah,
be able
we
to tell you.
we just don't have any inside information yet.
But back to Toyota. Seems like a no-brainer to make that. They could own the market there, couldn't they?
Right, right.
Uh, and I think building it off the Rav4, they'll all be hybrids. Um, it
Hmm.
seems like something. I'm sure there are prototypes right now. Some of the pre-production models are being cut away to look and a pickup truck bed being put on there.
Do you think they'll match the Maverick's starting price?
I don't know. I don't know because if they do build it off the Rav4 and they do make it a hybrid, you can't now. It's
Yeah.
automatically more expensive, right? But you could say like, well, all ours are hybrid, and frankly, you put the Toyota name on it, people will pay more, won't they?
Well, Toyota name has value,
Yeah.
and I can see them, with the base price maybe 3 or 4 thousand more,
Mm-hmm.
and still getting a share of the market.
Yeah.
Although last year, actually Ford did 39% more Mavericks than the year before.
Right.
That's, man, is that growth. So,
Well, they were
yeah,
production constrained too. There's talk they might move that production to the U.S. Due to tariffs, but what does that do to the price? The appeal of that, it's kind of funny because the appeal of the Maverick was you can buy it at a low price and then you can customize it yourself. There's a big
right.
aftermarket, there's a big Ford based accessory. And I think Slate played off of that, that they thought, well, we'll just sell something even less equipped and you say, hey, instead of giving you a radio, we'll give you a clip to hang your Bluetooth speaker on, and you can clip your
Yeah,
phone to the dash. Nothing wrong with that. That's fine, and price sounds halfway decent. And we'll put roll up windows in it, make it even cheaper. You know?
exactly. But I don't think that draws a large market.
No.
Uh, and I will say you've driven the Maverick as well as
Yeah,
as
it's
I.
nice.
That is a great driving truck.
Yes, it's comfortable. It's got enough utility in it. It's got
Yep.
a decent interior. You can add some money to it and get things that you want, the creature comforts to it. And now you get the hybrid all-wheel drive capability, which is really good.
Yeah.
You
It's a
know that.
heck of a nice pickup truck.
Yeah. Well, of course, remember now, Ram wants to jump in here too with the Rampage
Yep.
or whatever they call it. There's always the talk. Volkswagen wanted to do this. Hyundai will be getting into this market for sure. So this is heating up. I think with people pulling in their horns a little bit with money, maybe looking for smaller stuff. This is the market to watch, and more
I
things,
don't.
more vehicles coming in.
I don't suppose I could talk Ram into calling their small pickup truck the Lamb, could I?
No,
Uh,
probably not.
okay, probably not. It just seemed like a good idea.
I think it's called the Ram 1000 and other. I think I
Okay.
yeah I may be wrong. It was somewhere in South America. I think maybe Brazil that they have it now, and it looks like a mini Ram truck. It looks like a mini Ram 1500, which I think
Hmm.
would
Yeah. So just
be popular. But
yeah,
let me ask you this: does Ford keep the Ranger? Because now it's a lot of overlapping. Do they keep
yeah.
the Ranger?
I think I think it all depends on Ranger sales. You know how this works. It could be the best product ever made, but if it doesn't sell the required number of units, then they discontinue it.
Yeah. And then, of course, we talked about it, the Ram Express last week, and we've been talking a lot about that online.
Yeah.
That's another trend of manufacturers trying to get less expensive trucks out there. Of course, in Ram's case, that was a big deal because the former CEO had no
Hmm.
idea and was trying to push $80,000, $90,000 pickup trucks. No one bought them. They sat on the lots. The new head of Ram is like, let's do what we can to quickly get some vehicles out there that are less expensive but still nicely equipped. They lost the Ram Classic, which was the old model that was
Yeah.
really a good truck. It was a proven design, a couple of years older than the new one, but now they have that Express, and probably they'll be coming out with some more affordable models, I would imagine. So a lot going on in the pickup truck world, as it
A
always
lot.
is. But I'm kind of excited about small pickup trucks and something from Toyota. We'll see. We'll see. And we'd like to know, what do you think? Would you like to see Toyota get into that market? Talking about small pickup trucks, but not inexpensive ones, let's go over to Jeep and the Jeep Dark Sky, the Jeep Gladiator Dark Sky. Typically now, uh, less expensive and Jeep Gladiator are mutually exclusive,
That's very true.
but this is another one, another idea from the folks over at Stellantis to make it a little bit more affordable. And the Dark Sky Edition is a performance hood to evoke the desert rated Mojave styling, body color fender flares, gloss black bumper inserts, and dark colored badges and decals. Um, and it is kind of all bundled in. It's sort of bundled together to be more affordable. Do we have pricing on it? I don't think we do.
I don't no, I don't have it. Um,
Um, but it's got a lot of the good stuff, like heavy duty Dana 44 front and rear axles, front axle disconnect, transmission transfer case, skid plates, and 10 inches of ground clearance. Uh, Special editions always do well. They are something that people look for, and I believe this one's designed to be more affordable. As you know, the Gladiator was a very expensive vehicle. They have
right.
restructured the price to make it more affordable, haven't they?
I just got this in on the teletype. The Dark Sky edition starts at 45,090,
Wow.
including the 1995 destination charge. That's a
Wow.
deal.
Wow, that is a deal. It
Uh, wow. So yeah, I mean, that's a major accomplishment. I don't know how they
well,
did it.
isn't it funny? This is about the pricing of the Ram version that they were talking about, the Ram Express. It was about, if I recall, about 44,000 and change to get a pretty well equipped truck. So it's kind of in the ballpark. They must have done their homework and said, you know, if we could sell these things for slightly over $40,000, maybe, just maybe, that might be seen as a lot better, well, than
Yeah.
60 or
Also,
$70,000, right?
I don't know this for sure, but I just think that they have an awful lot of profit built into the Gladiator, the regular Gladiator, which started at something like 55,000 a
Yes.
couple of years ago.
Yes, I would say it's even higher, Les. I would say it was almost $60,000.
Yeah,
And
and I couldn't understand where that money went
well, I understand. I know where it went, but I couldn't understand it being
in
worth
the
that.
bank.
But
Yeah,
yeah, uh, but people were buying them, and people were
yeah.
scrimping to buy them. I had friends that were like, "I gotta buy this. It's going to be tough," and I was like, "Okay, well." But
I've seen a number of them on the road around here. It's so yeah. If this thing comes in that much cheaper, I think they'll sell a lot of them.
there was a company that was making them. They would take the bed off and close the back of the cab and made it into like a chassis mount camper that they would mount a camper on the back.
Hmm.
So just you would just keep the cab of the Gladiator and lose the bed part, and it looked kind of cool. It looked kind of cool, I have to say.
Well,
I know you're Mr. Overland yourself, so
never underestimate the aftermarket.
no. Oh no, no. It's like, oh, you've got a problem with that? We'll find a way to fix it. So
Don't worry, there's somebody who makes something to cure that need.
go to SEMA. You'll find it, you know.
That's it's
Now
just
here's one vehicle
amazing.
that probably is not getting customized at SEMA, but it's selling very well. And that is the Kia Carnival. It is their minivan Telluride like vehicle.
Hmm.
Looks like a Telluride sort of, but the giveaway is those two door handles not right next to each other because the rear doors slide. We told you last week this thing is selling so well for Kia. It is
Oh
a
boy.
hit, and the minivan is kind of making a comeback, and the Carnival is really right at the top of this, selling well. I believe it's even selling better than Honda and Toyota. But let's talk about pricing in this. And this starts at an LX front wheel drive model, 36,990. And then if you want to go all wheel drive, 32,290. See the difference? All wheel drive model, kind of SUV styled, 32,290, right? Probably well equipped. Compare
Yeah,
that to a three-row SUV, 50, 60, right? Significantly less.
significantly.
Uh, and then you can step up to the EX all-wheel drive model, 32,290. Great pricing, Les. I mean, literally 25,000 dollars less than a full-size SUV, wouldn't you say?
That's right. Yeah, I mean they really pulled off some major financial accomplishments here. Not that they're cheap, but boy,
Comparatively,
very affordable.
well, if you think about that EX, and I'd have to look at what you get for 32,290. I mean, we were just talking about small crossovers being that much money, 32,000, fully equipped, right? Uh,
That's right.
I know Kia gives you a lot for a base model, and this is the EX. I'm not sure what comes with it, but I'm sure it's quite nice. Now, hybrids. You can get a hybrid model, the front wheel drive hybrid. I believe their hybrids are only front wheel drive. I'd have to check that. But the first hybrid model, the LXS front wheel drive, 40,990. Once again, for a hybrid small crossover, you would
Yeah,
be paying that, if not more, right?
absolutely. A lot more. So yeah, and by the way, their standard features are forward collision avoidance and blind spot avoidance, lane keeping assist, smart cruise control, surround view monitor. I mean, that's a lot of stuff.
Yes. Standard 12.3-inch touchscreen with integrated navigation, wireless Apple
Yep.
CarPlay, and Android Auto. Uh, you know, it, I'm sure, being Kia, that everything is there. So even if you
Hmm.
go for everything, the hybrid SX Prestige package, which I'm sure is very nice, $53,090. Once again, that would probably be starting price for a full size 3-row SUV, right?
Yeah, it would be. Um, Granted, 53 is a lot of money, but boy, you're just getting everything.
Yes. You're getting much more comfortable third row, too. I mean, it's an
Yeah,
adult size
yeah.
third row that will be, comfortable to be in. So, um, I don't know. It's something to consider. It's something to consider. Those seats in the second row, they look like recliners. They look very comfortable, actually.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, obviously, this is meant for long trips for six people,
Yep.
and you arrive, quite refreshed, quite comfortable.
Nice flat load floor for loading in all kinds of stuff. And everyone gets their own USB-C charger port.
Well, you got to have USB charging ports everywhere. It used to be cup holders,
Yes. Yes.
of which there are enough.
Yes. Um, I just think it's a deal, and apparently other people do think it's a deal because it is selling well. It is selling
It's
well.
selling tremendously well. Seeing them advertised on TV locally, the dealers, of course, don't have enough
Right?
on their lots, uh, but they're building them as quickly as they can.
Yep. Well, let's talk Tesla for a little bit. A couple of
Well, do we have to?
yes, but a couple
Yeah,
of
we do.
strange stories. Once again, we're not getting into the politics here. We're just getting into sometimes the strange way they do business, or there's always strange things going on. This one is something that I've been reading about for a long time on Tesla fan websites and different forums and things like that. That people, many Tesla owners, feel the odometer is not moving at the same speed as the vehicle. In other words, you drive
Yep.
50 miles, but it shows 75 miles. That is a first. I mean, I've heard of odometers being spun backwards
Oh, yeah.
in used cars, but this is a first. And there is a class lawsuit now, California class action lawsuit, brought by someone named Nairi Hinton, who says her Model Y odometer logs 72 miles a day despite a 20-mile commute, burning through the 50,000-mile warranty in 18 months. And apparently, it is said that Tesla's system calculates distance using energy consumption and driving patterns rather than physical rotation, a method it patented in 2023. It is a way to generate revenue for Tesla because every 1,000 miles of algorithmically generated miles saves Tesla
Yep.
$200 in warranty repairs per vehicle while pushing owners into the big profit $3,500 extended coverage plans. Can you do this
This,
legally? Can you do this legally? I thought,
no, no, you cannot do this legally. This is against everything. Magnuson Moss Warranty Act, just everything. Consumer Financial Protection Agency. This is diabolical,
now this
and
is
it's
what the this person is alleging. We're not saying that they do this, but this person apparently is involved with a study that relates to this. Like an accuracy. I forget what they are involved with, but um, he closely tracked his own experience. Oh, he is a data analyst. Okay, and this is something people have been talking about for a long time with Tesla. Uh, there's also a guy that said they sprayed foam on his front suspension every time he would go in for warranty work, unrelated. He wouldn't ask for that. They'd spray it on
Yeah.
there. And it was to just keep it from falling apart. And then when the warranty was about to expire, they no longer put it on there so they could replace the
It's
suspension.
it it doesn't speak well. But then again, there's so many complaints about Tesla and so many. Well, I'm not going to say fraud, but so many less than uh, ethical things going on. This one, I don't see how they can possibly beat this lawsuit because these owners are suing because they have a 20-mile commute and the car is saying 72 miles, and and they to me
Maybe it's
they've got a
really bad accuracy on the
well if
odometer.
but if you want to deliberately accelerate the amount of usage that the car
To
has
get out
had
of warranty
to
work.
get out of warranty, which is because it's going to be breaking quite often. I mean, we've reported on that lots of times. But they've got this patented algorithm that is using energy consumption and driving patterns rather than physical rotation. But you've already got the ABS Hall effect sensor on every wheel. You have to have it there
Mm-hmm.
to have ABS, and that's counting rotation. So, and all the other manufacturers use that signal.
Can they?
So,
Can people tap into that, or it's probably hidden in Teslas? Can they add another mechanical odometer to show the distance? Because that's the way to
uh,
prove it. To add
that would
something.
be yes. I think you could have actually it could be an electronic odometer that would just tap into the rotation signal,
Yeah, and or
and that's it. And
or something on your phone, or that's what it should be done. People should start adding these
yeah.
things and then just show, like, you know. Now that's there's a couple of publications saying this could be Tesla's Dieselgate. Uh, and Elon
Yep.
Musk also said the only way he's not going to be CEO of Tesla is if he's dead. Because they
Okay.
remember they wanted to push him out because
Fine.
he wasn't coming to work. I mean,
Yeah.
that's not, once again, political. That's, you gotta, when sales are dumping, and you gotta be in there driving the bus to try to get more sales, right? You don't
Well,
disappear.
that's right. And getting them out the door with thumbtacks and glue.
Yes,
Uh, uh,
zip tie quality.
that's
Well,
it.
here's another one. Now it is. This is weird too. So typically when you lease a vehicle, you're given the option at the end of the lease to buy it out. To say, okay,
Yeah.
yeah, I like this vehicle a lot. I've treated it well. I don't have a lot of miles on it. I'd like to buy it. And they give you a number, you pay the number, and you own the car. Well, Musk started doing leases with the Model 3, but he told people, sorry, you can't buy it at the end of the lease because we're going to bring this in and we're going to make it into a robo taxi. So that's why you
Mm.
can't buy it. Uh, but they found out that they weren't making them robo taxis; they were selling them. And there's some
Yes.
reasoning for it that they can keep them scared. Maybe they get rid of them. I don't know. I don't know what they do with it, but it's just always something crazy, isn't it?
Well, you know, uh, yes. Um, and he was saying he was going to have 1 million robo taxis on the road
I don't
next
think
year.
that's going to happen. That's not
That
going
was
to.
in 19, so it would have been in 20. Obviously, none of that happened.
I know, and the
He
tractor
just
trailers
simply
come in, and the sports
That's right.
car, and the
He
cheap
just
car.
flipped cars,
Yeah.
uh, and probably
Don't tell me he
you
sold them
know
as new.
probably lied about the mileage on them,
Don't tell me he sold them as new. That would.
or uh, or sold them as new. And by the way, this has happened with other brands over the years, and even some dealers have done it, and gotten caught. Most of the time, they don't get caught, but some have gotten caught. And yeah, I think this one's going to be uh, typically, well, pretty. Hmm,
And maybe they
he
were sold to another country. Maybe make them scarce, so because the used prices of Teslas are going down. I don't know.
well,
Who knows? This
it's
is conjecture, so
yeah.
we don't know. We're not.
Clearly, this is a way to make your bottom line look really great, but it is illegal, um, and you because this is not a federal issue, you can't get a presidential pardon if you get if you
Yeah.
get convicted of this. Um, this
Prognosticate, Les Jackson. Will Tesla survive
well,
all this?
I think Elon. I think Elon has gone over the edge. I mean, it's just not me saying it. Lots of people. I think that he's become um, not a robber baron, but just an unscrupulous, cutting corners,
We did say P.T.
fast
Barnum.
talking. P.T. Barnum.
Yeah.
P.T. Barnum.
Yeah.
Um, and I
There's
think he's going to be in real heavy trouble.
Well, it's interesting. I don't know if the brand survives. I really don't with all of the things. I mean, there's a ton of them around, but man,
Yeah,
um, would someone buy it? I don't know. I don't think someone would buy it because, you know, I I don't quite know what will happen to electric cars. I mean, the mandate in California is going to go away.
that's
Um,
everything's going to go away.
the $7,500 goes away. If let's just use logic, if I can buy something that goes further and is cheaper, I think hybrids will explode as they are. Everyone's building
I think they
hybrids.
will too, and I think that because Tesla's going to have so many lawsuits against them and so much bad reputation and so many warranty claims, I think it's going to be a Harvard Business School case study on the rise and fall of Tesla.
Well,
Uh,
politics aside, if I had a business, let's just say the US is divided 50-50 and people are way over on the right.
right?
There's no middle ground. That's fair to say. No one reaches across the aisle anymore. It's just not even done on any side.
No,
Um, so I would think if I had a business, I would not want to alienate 50% of potential customers. But I
I
didn't go to
wouldn't
Harvard
either.
Business School, so.
No, no, I didn't either. Right?
But
And
I'm just
but
saying I wouldn't want to cut out 50% of potential people that might buy something.
but when you're arrogant, you do.
Okay. But
And I think he's gonna get his legs cut off for this. Not physically, but I think he's in trouble.
hmm, interesting. Interesting. Well, let's see what else we have here. How about this? Waffle House. Do you ever go to the Waffle House?
I've been to a Waffle House.
A
Waffle
Waffle.
House.
I,
Waffle House once.
mm-hmm.
On the road, I stopped at a Waffle House. I
WAPA, by
keep
the way, is
I keep
Washington Auto
saying what?
Press
Yeah,
Association.
that's right. Yeah, I always have to say WAPA. Um, but and the food was actually pretty good.
Pretty
Uh,
hearty food like eggs and.
Very, very hearty. You won't leave hungry.
All right. Well,
Um,
kind of a good story here. Waffle House is teaming up with BP to install DC fast chargers. BP Pulse, they're teaming up with. And they're going to start installing these at Waffle Houses. The idea is Waffle Houses are open 24/7, and you charge
yep.
your car, you'll have access to a bathroom, some coffee, some eggs, some big food while your car charges. I think that's a good idea, don't you?
I think it's a great idea.
And they think these will go live in 2026, the BP Plus chargers. And yeah, you can multitask. Bathroom stop, coffee stop. Um, it's all good. I don't think I've
I
ever eaten at a Waffle House though.
I think it's a wonderful idea. If I had an electric vehicle, I would take advantage of it
Mm-hmm.
and stop for a hearty breakfast, and then waddle back out to the car.
Better hope you put a lot of charge in it so it can haul your butt away from
That's
the.
right. I mean, the fact is, I think it's a great idea. I think that if you have food services and other things attached to charging stations or charging stations, vice versa,
Yeah.
you're going to get a lot of business.
Yeah. Well, I've seen them at supermarkets, which I think is great because
We
you're going
have
to be in a
ours.
supermarket at least for an hour, right? Depending.
Yeah, our supermarket has 4 chargers,
Yeah.
free chargers.
Are they fast chargers or are they slow?
No,
No, yeah. There's some free ones
yeah,
around here too. But and they're at parks and things, which is very nice. You go for a walk in the park,
yeah,
a
yeah.
little break, maybe you bring your lunch and you charge it up a little bit. That's okay. Um, but I always thought that was a plus. I mean, obviously, hotels along roads should have them. Um, there's a couple of grocery stores. One has huge. It must be 15, 20 chargers. And one time we came
Yeah.
out and we were
Do,
kind of parked by them, not in, but on the way in, and there was a conga line of every electric vehicle you ever want to see.
it's great. Now, here in the Mid Atlantic, especially Maryland, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, you have the Sheetz,
Oh yeah,
Sheetz, front, beautiful, clean, very large gas
good
stations,
food. Actually, good food. Good chicken
and good
sandwiches.
food. And I would think sooner or later, if they're not already doing it, they would have charging facilities because it's just perfect. You pull in, you plug in, you go in, and you use the bathrooms, then you sit down, have a nice meal, a lunch, uh, or breakfast if it's early, and that's a really pleasant way to travel.
I always liked Sheets. There was one right at
Uh,
Carlisle, and I would fill
yes,
up there.
yes,
It had
I've been to that one.
plenty of space. It wasn't tight, so you could pull in. No one's going to
Yep,
hit your
and
door or
just
anything.
spotless inside. You get, as you said, great food.
Yeah, fresh made
And
stuff,
yeah, and you just you look for them because they're so nicely run.
and you know what you're going to get. You know what
Yeah,
you're going to get. Yeah. Hey, let's do a couple of little talking texts. How's that sound?
why not? Why not?
Let's talk about Volvo and Google Gemini. Google Gemini, of course, is Google's personal assistant, AI derived. And Volvo was one of the first to do Google built in their vehicles, meaning you don't have to attach your phone. There it is. It's Google Maps built in. It's funny to me, remember GM said, "Oh, we're doing our own big thing," and
Right.
I think that's what they're doing. Google built in, so it's not unique. It is been done for a while by Volvo and possibly some others now. But it's nice. You don't have to hook your phone up to it or anything. It's just there. Well, they're expanding their partnership with Google, and this will involve Google Gemini. The idea is you're going to speak more instead of saying destination and give a address. You'd say, "Oh, I'd like to go to that so and so's house at this address." It's supposedly going to be very conversational, and that they say will be less distracting because you won't have to think of how to say it. You won't be using your mind to say it. You'll just be talking like if you say, "Hey, remember that restaurant we went? Hey, where's that Waffle House with the charger?" Right? That's
Exactly. I
closer.
was thinking of the same thing.
Yes. So that will be coming to Volvos very soon. It's going to be starting on the EX90. Be interesting to try, won't it?
I think it's a great idea. Volvo, is a real leader in these innovations, and I think it'll be quite successful. I'd like to try it out.
Yeah. Well, like I have ways of going that, like I find that are slightly longer, but I don't want to go the shorter way because it is terrible with traffic or merges or
Hmm.
whatever. I say, you know what? I'll drive 5 minutes more to
Right.
avoid that bridge or to go a different way because it's more direct, it's easier. Like in the case here of the George Washington Bridge, 18 lanes go down to four. And I don't like that because here in New York, no
No,
one cares. They
no,
will scrape your
everyone
car.
hates that bridge for
Yeah, they drive
for-
like I don't care. I have to be first. Uh,
exactly.
so I don't want to do that. It's always a jam up. It may be shorter. I'd rather travel more miles on a highway, keep moving, and not do that. But it will always try to send you that way because it thinks, well, that other way is
It's the
not direct.
shortest, most direct route. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think you could, to Gemini, not having used it in this setup, you could say, hey, I know the other way is shorter, but as you know, I don't like taking that bridge. So let's avoid that bridge and go across the other bridge. That's how I think you can talk to it.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's use a lot of AI
And
and
you
and
talk
it
to it
just
like it was someone in the car. Like I'm not going over that dumb
right,
bridge this
right.
time.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean I love the just the straight Google on our smartphones when you want
hmm
to ask it a piece of information. It's very conversational.
Yes.
You can talk as fast as you want, and it's typing it out just as fast.
Yes. Yes. I agree. I agree.
So that's a sort of a taste of it.
Let's do another talking tech. This comes to us from Car Moses. It's a patent from Hyundai for pop out cameras that would pop out of the side of the vehicle to help you uh, back out. And in other words, if you were in a tight spot, let's say, and you had your mirrors folded, these things pop out, but not as far as the mirror, and they would allow you to see better. So they have come up with a way, a very detailed kind of diagram of how this would work. And it seems great. It seems great. The only negative I think would be if someone hits your car and smashes that, it's going to be expensive, isn't it?
It's go- well, yeah, it will be, but the fact is, if you have the pop-out camera now, of course, our modern cars with the backup cameras, they look right and left about 100 feet,
Mm-hmm.
as well as straight back, so they're letting you know something's coming.
Yep.
But something can come at a pretty high rate,
Sure.
and if it doesn't automatically stop, then you're gonna, and they're not gonna stop for you, even though you're backing out.
Yeah, they're not going
Uh,
to stop. That's the new
yeah.
thing.
So this is um, a patented similar idea to what I was proposing some years ago. And you remember when we talked about it that I wanted to have a telescoping periscope come up out of the roof of the car and look over the SUVs.
Yes.
And granted, that's a little bit crude. Well, it's a lot crude.
What would you make
Uh,
it out of? Like a paper towel roll or something?
uh,
One of those shipping
yeah,
tubes with some mirrors on the end.
parts from one of those telescoping ladders.
Yeah, yes. Uh, yeah,
Yeah,
eventually this will all be done with sensors, though, right? I mean, you don't need to.
right.
I think I picture a giant radar dish swinging around on a on a mast,
Yep, just going.
sweeping constantly.
Yeah,
Um,
uh,
yeah,
that I
I, it's needed. I
we
mean, it,
we need it. We do need it. This is getting. It has gotten out of hand.
yes, when you're between two SUVs, it's almost as if you're in a valley,
It's awful. It's
and
just
you're
awful.
flying a helicopter and you're coming up out of the valley. You're just hoping there's
Yeah,
no plane coming
it's like
through the.
you're Luke Skywalker flying that thing during in the big valley of the Dark Star, and
Do you know that
you're
was
trapped
modeled
in there.
modeled after B-29, the cockpit? They actually went and looked
Very
at.
much, very much. The entire well, no, the Close Encounters, that entire craft, alien craft, is at the Smithsonian at the Dulles facility, and it's about 6 feet in diameter, and it's filled the actual one from the movie, and it's filled with all kinds of little cute tricks that they put in there, like like little model cars and all sorts of things, and that you wouldn't have seen in the movie, but
Mm-hmm.
that's the details are remarkable, and there are things like bent safety pins that look like antennas. It is amazing how it
Yes, and it
comes
looks
off.
great on camera, but if you look at it up
Terrific.
close, it's like, oh, I see what that is.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's yeah, yeah.
I'm always, you have an aviation background, of course. I'm always amazed at how good, if you shoot them tight, the remote control planes look. They look like the real thing if you
They
shoot them.
really do, and I've actually been watching some of those on YouTube. These are huge.
Yes, they're huge, and
There's a
they have jet
B-29, there's a
engines, and
747, and the
yes,
thing is like 15 feet long.
and if you shoot it the right way, it looks like a 747
Looks
landing.
absolutely real.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's good stuff. I've watched those too. I feel bad when they build the model and then something goes wrong and it smashes.
Yeah,
But I think
um,
that's part of it. You
it
potentially it
is.
could
And
smash,
of
but
course, it's much better.
I feel bad that yeah, obviously no one's hurt, but some of them they look real taking off, and I guess
They
they have
do.
jet engines. Some have ducted engines that are just blowing air through, but it's pretty amazing stuff. I mean,
Yeah,
of
but
course, some of
they
them are
have these
better.
little jets and they have, lifting main gear.
Yes,
It's really impressive.
I saw one that it was about to crash, and it has an ejection seat for the model pilot. The
For
actually
the pilot.
ejected. It's
Wow.
funny, but they
It
have
should.
great control surfaces. They're
Oh
pretty
yeah, they
amazing
do. They're they're more stable than the actual airplane is. It has to be.
because it weighs less, or because it's.
Well, it doesn't have a pilot.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
it's fun.
So now that if I were going to build one, and you know me, I'm going to go overboard.
Yep.
I would build a 30-foot long aircraft carrier deck with a resting gear. and I would and I
Oh
would
boy,
build like an A4 Skyhawk, and I would bring it in and land on the carrier.
that would be amazing. But the carrier has to be in a lake and moving, and there has to be like there has to
Well,
it has to be
yeah,
moving
oh yeah,
around.
of course. It's
And there's a little animated LSO
oh yeah,
standing
well
there.
yeah, the meatball.
Yeah, a
That would
little low, more power,
I
more
think
power.
I I think we would be spending a great deal of money
Yes,
to do this,
yes, yes.
but it sure would be fun.
Hobbies are a cool thing. Hobbies are a cool thing. Anyway.
Yep.
Well, we hope you enjoy this edition of Cruise Control. Don't forget to check us out at Cruise Control Motoring on YouTube and some of our other social media sites. Time for me to say I'm Fred Staub.
I'm Les Jackson.
We are going to see you down the road. Take care.
Bye.